You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Matt Migaki, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians. We talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. If you've ever wanted to sneak backstage and share a beer with one of your favorite musicians, well, Vox and Hops is the podcast for you. This week on the podcast, I dropped a killer episode with Johannes Ekström of Avatar. There is this episode and over 440 other ones to help you enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. So what are you waiting for? It's time to become a Vox and Hops head. Cheers!
Hey everybody, how's it going? Before we get started on this episode, I want to let you know about something important, and that is TechFlex. TechFlex on your instrument cables, on your microphone cables, on whatever kind of cables you might want will keep them looking very fine, and also protect them from cuts, gouges, scrapes, etc. And they slide around real nice when they got the flex on it. So if you need Tech Flex for your cables, you should really go check out Sinusoid Custom Guitar Cables, because they are the greatest and best in the industry. They've been sponsoring this show for a long time. They help keep the lights on around here, and they help this whole machine just keep rolling, and you guys support them. That supports the show and lets these magical moments keep happening. So check out sinusoid.com, get you a custom cable of your dreams built by excellent human beings, and they carry a 100-year warranty. So no worries, it's going to be good. Sinusoid.com. We are also brought to you by the wonderful folks over at Gun Street Wiring Shop. They're a relatively new sponsor, but my experience with them has been top-notch, and I know that they've got involved in supporting some of the other podcasts out there, and I don't think anybody has anything but absolute glowing reviews on the products and the customer service that Gun Street provides. I'm actually really excited, because in addition to them sponsoring the podcast, Sean is making me a custom harness for my 30th birthday present, which I may have mentioned in previous sponsorships, but I don't remember. So I'm getting a Jazzmaster built, and he's doing all the wiring, and I guess he's got some extra trickery surprises he's going to throw in there for me. So I'll be very excited to see what he does with that. But if you need any wiring done in any of your guitars, hit up gunstreetwiring.com and let Sean know what you need. Let him know what you're thinking, and he can make it happen. He's the man for the job. gunstreetwiringshop.com. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes here and give a little bit of background about this episode and explain why I'm so excited that this actually happened and is a real thing that exists in the world. As a lot of you know, I'm a huge Gaslight Anthem fan. I have been a fan of theirs for a very long time. Actually, even before the 59 sound came out, my occasional co-host, Mr. Justin Porter, he turned me on to him. We were getting ready to go to was a fantastic lineup. It was Gaslight Anthem, Thrice, Alkaline Trio, and Rise Against concert. That was a real bill that happened, and they came to Portland years ago. We caught that show, and Gaslight Anthem was opening up, and I was just blown away. And then Jess was like, "I told you should have listened to these guys before the show." It's like I knew there was something special there, and became a huge fan ever since then. I've just always enjoyed Brian's songwriting and the way the whole band sounded. Just they're one of my favorites, and I really like Brian's solo work with the Horrible Crows and then his own stuff. The Horrible Crows he actually did with Ian, and that record, well, it was a CD when I was listening to it. That CD did not leave my car for at least a year and a half. Every time I got in, it was just like, oh, this is what we're listening to now. So needless to say, it was really exciting to me to get to talk to Brian and Ian. They've been inspirations to me musically for a long time, and as you hear, they're just super cool guys. And I got to give a big shout out to Grant Wilson for hooking this up. I think I've got several Grant Wilson plugs and shout outs to be given. He's the man behind Big Ear Pedals, formerly Big Ear NYC, as many of you guys may know. he is responsible for all this getting hooked up, and can't thank him enough, because this is just fantastic that this was able to happen. So you'll hear we kind of explain. I just threw a mic up in the middle of the room, and we just kind of riffed. So it just is going to cut right into the conversation. You'll actually hear my wife Lynn on this episode chiming in occasionally. So she does exist. Somebody took pity on me and decided to marry me. It's not a made up imagination figure or whatever. It's a real person, and she's on this episode. This whole thing was just a ton of fun, and we were just geeking out the whole time. So without further ado, here is Brian Fallon and Ian Perkins from the Gaslight Anthem.
Just keep going.
Yeah, so
just roll.
So yeah, so playing that strat, I kind of went and got all the full drives, and I got the old '90s one at home that I've had forever, but it's the one where you literally could see how he built it at home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's on perf board or whatever. Yeah.
Totally. It's on this tan perf board, and he he wrote you could see notes in it, and it says Mike Fuller 1993 or whatever it is, and it's an old red one, and it doesn't have any switches at all, and that one sounds awesome. And I got I kind of have all the series. I got the yellow one, then there was the full drive 2 that came with the boost side and the comp cut switch,
right?
And then the MOSFET and whatever. Now I have the 3 and the 1, and I'm running those both at the same time. One's for the Strat, one's for the Les Paul, and I'm just waiting for the Full Tone 2 V2 to come out, because I'm just I know that thing is going to be good. And it's funny because I have probably every overdrive ever in my house, or I've had it at one time. But now, every time I go record, it seems that one, the Timmy and the Analog Man, the King of Tone. They're the ones that always stick out. It's always the King of Tone, the Timmy pedal, or the full drive, and they're always the ones that are there on the records.
The King of Tone, actually, so this is going back a little ways, but the King of Tone was, you actually introduced that to me. And I immediately got on the waiting list as soon as I found out about it. And then some sort of crazy, weird internet gremlin crept in. And, a bunch of people who I know got on the waiting list after me started getting their pedal.
Really?
Yeah. And I, somehow I was booted off the mailing list somehow by
For Analog Man?
Yeah. It was not nobody's fault, but, somehow... I know I got on because I, emailed them, I'm so excited, and maybe if you're not busy sometime, you can come on the podcast, because it was shortly after it happened.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of nothing. And now all I can find in my email inbox, or outbox, is that message that I sent, really excited, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, hope you can come on. It's bizarre.
Dude, Mike is really good about emailing.
I know.
I've emailed him a couple times just to be hey man, I don't remember what I needed. It was something that I needed, and he fixes pedals quick for you. If something breaks or anything like that. But I'll tell you what about Analog Man. The whole entire record of American Slang had that Beano boost on every single song. It never came off. It was on the entire time. It was just a Les Paul, a Beano boost, and a Marshall. Done.
The whole time?
Not a Marshall. It was a Dr. Z. Yeah.
Dr. Z.
And it was just straight through it the whole time, with P90s, and it sounded so rad. It was still, I'm man, that thing was rad. And now I have, I use the King of Tone all the time. I use it for the solo stuff, for the,
what mods did you get? Did you get the same, normal one, or?
I just got the normal one with the, high gain on one side, on the red side, and the yellow side is normal, with, low gain. And then, but I saw one, but mine is white and gold.
Yes.
So I got a cool one that. And the only thing I'm going to get now is, I keep looking at the one with the switch on it. So you can kind of run the order of the effects a little bit.
Right.
Which I think is cool, because that pedal really is great for people who kind of don't want a pedal. It's great for that, thing, that it's that thing, it's that world that I live in. I don't really play with a lot of gain, and everything is clear. People assume that I don't use pedals, and I do, but they're really subtle.
Yeah.
So I set them really subtle, and and I use a compressor. That's my secret,
What one?
Thanks, man. Well, if I'm in the studio, I use the Cali 76. I got one of the big ones.
Yeah.
I use the Cali 76G with the germanium in it, the little overdrive in it.
Right.
But like for normal use, it's always the Keeley Compressor Plus.
The Compressor Plus is
one,
so
man.
good.
Yeah, it's really, and I have everything. The only one that I like almost as much is the new JHS Pulp and Peel, the V4
with the blend and the XLR outs.
That's the cool one. But it's that one. That one's not as clean. And when I'm using the compressor, like I'm going really clean. So the Keeley, you can't get a better compressor than that. There's not one for stage, because I've had all of them. Like I've got Mike's one. I've got both his the Bicomp, and that one's awesome. But I've got like the Script Dynacomp.
Yep.
I've got I must have like 7 or 8 compressors at home, maybe even more. I got like the Pettyjohn one, and all that stuff, but like none of them are. I hate to say, like, I don't want to like diss anybody, but like I just love.
It's not dissing.
No, I'm not. I'm not. They're all good, and they're all great for different things. But for what I'm doing, which is like strictly trying to ape Mark Knopfler and John Frusciante, their clean sound, it's just straight up like the Keeley comp is the one, man. It just really does it. The Compressor Plus.
Yes. Yeah. So I actually like never could really jive with a compressor. I generally play a lot of dirt, a lot of fuzz, and so I get enough compression from that it doesn't matter. And so I was always kind of a little bit of a weird anti-compression guy, not in like the studio context, but in using it as a guitar effect. It was never my thing until I got the Compressor Plus. And I was like, oh, what have I been doing?
It kind of does something.
And it did, and then that one kind of opened my eyes to some other ones.
Yeah.
And just because it was so easy to dial in and it was so easy to get good sounds out of, and it really was like, this is a more better pedal, this is what it's all about.
There's also, Andy, who does the Tone Report. I sent him a message on Instagram, and I just was like, hey man, what are you using for a compressor? This is before I found the Compressor Plus. And he told me that the Greer amps one is
the
great.
Lamplighter.
Yeah, he was like, that one's great. So I want to try that, because what's their, I think it's called the South, is it the Southland? That's like the clear, really clear one? Because I have a couple of his pedals, like the Greer pedals. Like I have
he's had so many, I get him a little bit. It's hard for me to,
yeah, there's one that's like really clear overdrive, and I think it's the Southland.
The Southland, so we got the Lightspeed.
No, that's the one.
The Lightspeed.
It's the Lightspeed.
I love the Lightspeed.
That thing's awesome. Such a cool pedal. Like, people are making great pedals. Like, I don't know, and it's cool. Like, I got the Deja Vibe. I love that thing. I got all of those, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, like the cream one with the pedal. I got the blue one with the pedal, the silver mini one. Dude, and the mini versions are so tight, because I only have like a little tiny 1-space pedal board.
Right.
So like the fact that Mike is making those smaller versions of his pedals, it's like, dude, you're like reading my mind, man. Because now I can jam up. My whole board is all like, well, right now this board for Gaslight is different than my board. For my own stuff, because it's just different sounds.
Yeah.
So you gotta, amp's the same, guitar's the same, but the pedal board's different.
So you're hooked on the Vox ACs
still,
right?
I can't get away from that. That's just my amp. Like, it's the AC30 is like, just, I sound best playing through that amp.
Do you find that they are a little bit picky with dirt pedals? Because that's been my experience.
I find that a lot of people, the thing that I found with AC30s, because I started playing AC30s, like, people don't really associate me with them from previous years, but I started playing them right after 59 Sound. So the thing with AC30s is there's like a way that they work, and they don't work like other amps. Like, if you turn up the treble, it's not just the treble that turns up. So it's not like a Fender or a Marshall. They really do like interact and sort of do things with each other. And you have to, like, if you want more mids or something like that, you got to turn them both down. And it's super counterintuitive. if you look at a guitar amp and you turn the bass and the treble all the way off, and you're like, that's going to sound terrible, but it doesn't. It like on an AC30, especially if you have a thin guitar, like if you got, say, like your Strat is really thin, like mine's thick, but I don't know, like you get this crazy mid-range boost, and then if you just dial it in right, you have to like spend time at home with an AC30 and like honestly just close your eyes and turn the knobs, like just spend time with it, and then you'll be like, oh, there's Brian May, there's the Edge, there's all these different things, there's Minor Threat, like there's all these different, there's the Stooges. You find all these sounds, and then some sounds that you really shouldn't be getting from an AC30, but like I can cop a lot of different tones, like even Dwayne Allman tones from an AC30 that like I found that it just does everything all in one. And I've got Fender Princetons and Deluxes and Tweeds, and I've got Marshalls, like an old like JTM 45, but they all do something great. But I find that with the way I play, the AC30 does everything great.
Right.
So that's what I stick to.
So since we're on the amp train for a minute, I'm trying to remember where I read it, but it seems like I read something somewhere where you had built or modified an amp specifically around the recording of the 59 sound. Is that an accurate thing, or is that internet nonsense?
No, I actually built this is so funny. I went to every Guitar Center on the face of the planet on tour, and I was trying out Fender Bassmans, and really the only reason was because I knew that that's what Bruce played during the Born to Run record, and that was the tone I was going for, because it was real clean, but still thick, and I was like, well, I have this Telecaster that my dad bought me, I might as well get that amp, because it's the same kind of thing that I'm going for, and I was obsessed with that tone on that record, like obsessed. I don't really like his tone on other records. Some of them I do, and his live tone is so different, but like it's cool, it sounds good, but like it's not my thing, and like on the Darkness record, it's too gainy for me. But the tone on, like, I'm talking about like the intro riff to like Backstreets or the beginning, like in Born to Run, like that riff, like that, to me, that's the best like Telecaster sound next to like Roy Buchanan and those guys. I think that was perfect for rock and roll. So what I did was I found this reissue Bassman, and I was like, all right, well, this doesn't sound anything like it. And I was trying all these old vintage ones that were like, they were probably like $6,000 at the time, which I should have bought, but I didn't have $6,000. I don't have $6,000 now, but I didn't.
Really didn't have it now.
I could probably come up with $6,000 now, but let's be honest. But I didn't have it then. Now they're 12, and I was like, that it just seems silly to me. But so I couldn't do it. So what I did was I started to read forums. I read military manuals on tubes. I went to electronic school when I was a kid, but for cars. But it's all the same. Like so I was doing car audio, but it's all the same as like when you're working on an amp. It's just like electricity comes in one way and it goes out the other way, and there's capacitors and resistors, and it's the same thing. And then I read those books from Gerald Weber, and that honestly broke everything open for me, and I was like, oh man, this is so simple. And then I learned not to kill myself, and I just started tweaking, like changing little things, and one by one, like I would change all the signal caps and see what that did, and it like got me closer, and then I would try a different brand, and then I would change the resistors, and then I would change the speakers, and then I would change the output transformer. And so step by step, I learned what each thing did that got me closer to the sound of the vintage amps I was hearing. And then I found out, now I can say with firm confidence that the real thing that's going to separate a reissue amp from a vintage amp is going to be your speakers and your output transformer. Like there is subtle changes you can make with tubes, but I kind of feel like tubes, caps, resistors, caps will make a big difference. Resistors, I'm going to get flamed for this, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Like, because I'll tell you, like, the warmest, coolest JTM 45, that didn't have carbon comp resistors in it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
as
got
long as they
film.
measure to the correct spec.
Yeah, I mean, there are, like, if you buy Radio Shack, those blue, like, carbon, you know, like the metal film ones, and yeah, maybe it's a little brittle, but I don't think you can hear that, like, in a mix, especially not, but...
Certainly not live.
No way. But I'm telling you, the day that I bought that, I saved up my money and bought a Mercury Magnetics and I put that thing in there, like, everything changed when I pulled out the stock transformer and wired up the Mercury Magnetics output transformer. And it changed everything, and I was like... You know, and I don't care, like, Mercury, like, Habor, like, they're all...
Just a good one.
Yeah, just a good one. Just buy any good one, you know? And, like, Mojotone, whatever. They're all good. But, like, that was the thing. And the speakers, you know, I bought those, like... Yeah.
Huge.
That is, like, a giant thing that people overlook. And I bought those Weber Alnico Vintage, like, the just SIG 10As or whatever they are. Or the 10... There's, like, numbers. Or, like, 10 125As or something like that. And they were like, the days that I did those changes were the days I was like, oh man, this is so close. And then pickups and the guitar itself, you know, and like, guitar, like, I find like people, especially now, like they'll buy a guitar and like you buy a guitar online. But I find that like, one time recently I went to a store and I tried 3 different Les Pauls that were all the same. They were all the same year, all the same model, all the same... They were literally, I think, sequential numbers. And
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but the middle one, the second one I tried, it rang more. It had more of, like... It was, like, brighter. It sounded like a Tele. It was weird. And the other 2 were thicker and typical Les Paul thing. But I'm telling you, like, when you get them in your hand, they're different. Like, each one is different. Because it's a piece of wood, and it can be different. And that was something that really got me, like... on my, you know, like, this is going to be the thing that makes the sound.
One of the things that made a lot of sense to me, like, I'm not, like, a huge, hard believer in, like, tone wood, per se. Like, you know, like, we got the Dan Armstrong stuff that sounds really good, right?
Sure.
And, like, lots of different things that sound good made out of different materials. But what I do, like I'm not going to be like, it has to be old mahogany or whatever, it's not going to sound good. But I do believe that, you know, wood's organic. Yeah. Right? That means every piece, every cut is a little bit different, no matter what. And I really do. I was lusting for a Les Paul Custom for so long.
Yeah.
And I played so many of them, and I didn't like any of them. I just thought I just wanted one aesthetically because I always wanted a white
like
Les
a
Paul
custom shop or a custom,
like a white Les Paul Custom
with the Jedi logo on the
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just always wanted
cool
one.
Guitar.
Could never find one I liked, and I started thinking, well, maybe I don't like those. Maybe I just like how they look.
Yeah.
And finally, was it like a year ago or so, I found one. And I was like, I'd kind of given up hope at that point. And I found one, I was like, this sounds brilliant. And I don't know what it is. It's got, you know, it's an 81. It's got, like, Tim Shaw humbuckers and stuff. But I've played ones from that era before, and they were not any good. So, I mean, sometimes there's just a magic one, and it's hard to quantify and explain what that is.
It's just like a thing, man. Like, even when I bought this Strat, like, I never would have thought in my life that I would have ever played a Strat. And I've owned, like, 3 or 4 Strats before. Like, I mean, Fender, over the years, Fender has been incredibly good to me. And they sent me a few Strats. Like, I mean, even, like, I got custom shop ones and everything. And, like, and then a couple I bought, and they just were very thin sounding and weird and brittle, and I didn't like them, and they always felt awesome. I was always, like, able to play better on a Strat than I could on anything else. But then I went into my friend's, like, local store, this is, like, a store like Russo's Music in Asbury Park, and I went in there, and they're, like, an independent little shop, and they're cool. They have cool guitars. They have, like, really weird, cool guitars there. Like, you'll find, like, a faded shell pink Strat, like, out of nowhere, you know? And then, like, so I went in there, and there was 2 Strats, and they were, like, sitting on the table, like, high on the top of a counter. And I'm like, that's weird. And there was 1 Sunburst and 1 shell pink. And my buddy, like, runs the store, so I was like, look, man, I don't know. Like, I really like this Strat. I'm, like, playing it. And he goes, dude, listen, take it home, see if you like it. If you don't like it, he's like, don't play it out. Then just bring it back if you like it. And I was like, oh, really? Cool, man. I was like, loner's sick. You know, like, I'm going home with the Strat. And so, like, I went home and took it home and plugged it in, and then, like, tried it a couple days, and I was just like, man, you're not getting this back, dude. Like, whatever we got to do to work this out. I'm like, I'm buying this thing. And it just, like, worked. I mean, like, I love a Les Paul, don't get me wrong. Like, I really love a Les Paul. But, like, there was something about the care that went in to making that guitar that just kind of made me be like, dude, I don't know, like, this is cool. And at the same time, like a week prior, I had an old telly that was like a Paisley telly with a maple neck that I'd gotten as a gift from Fender, actually. Mm-hmm. And it was like really snappy, like really, really bright. So I was like, I'm not really a maple neck guy. And it's so funny that like Ian became friends with Paul Waller, and he came to a show one night, and I was like, hey man, like, got this telly, like, what do you think? And he's like, let me take it with me. He's like, I think I could fix this up. And Paul built it, so it was a Paul Waller guitar,
right?
So he's like, let me try something, because I was like, I really like a rosewood board, like, what do you think? And so he took it, and then like it was like weeks later, like months, Mm-hmm. Like, I get, like, a package at my door, and it's the Paisley telly with an all rosewood neck. like the full-on, like, George Harrison one.
Right.
And I'm like, I plugged it in, and I was like, dude, this thing is so good. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I couldn't believe is the setup that he did. It was gnarly. It was so good.
Just perfect.
Yeah, like, it was, like, the best vintage guitar ever. Like, it really was. And matter of fact, just the other day at Chicago Music Exchange, I picked up a 54 Strat just to see.
Right.
Like, what is a $22,000 guitar feel like? And like, I played it,
right?
and I was like, whoa! I'm like, this thing is like butter, dude. It's so real. It's unreal. And then, like, but I'll tell you what, my telly that Paul set up, that plays just as well as that 54 Strat.
That.
And it sounds like similar, like acoustically. I didn't plug in the 54 Strat because I didn't want to. I was like, I don't have that kind of money. So
you should have, though.
I didn't want to because I knew that I would never be able to turn back. Like, once I saw it, I would have had to. The only way I could afford that guitar is if I sold every guitar that I have.
See, that's interesting because, and I don't know if you remember this because this is quite a while ago at this point. We talked briefly. I don't remember, last year sometime.
Yeah.
And I remember we were talking about vintage guitars, and you were like, I don't believe in vintage guitars. That's what you told me.
I know.
And I was like, really? Like, not what I would expect.
I'm not a vintage guitar guy. Where is he? Ian!
Is he in here? Ian!
What are you doing?
Huh?
Come on!
I was just chatting with Bob.
Oh, close the thing.
Come on.
No, I don't.
We should just tell people what we're doing, even though we're like a half hour in or whatever. We're in the back of the tour bus, just threw up the microphone, how I do these remote things once in a while, and we're just seeing what happens. Just seeing what kind of nerdery we can come up with, which, as 22 minutes and 27 seconds in is a lot of nerdery.
We've said a lot in 22 minutes, but that's good though. How long do you do the podcast for? Because I'll talk for a long time.
I usually go for an hour.
I'm an only child.
But
I was an only child. I had no one to talk to growing up, so I'll talk your ear off, man. I got plenty to say.
Yeah, so let me reposition this.
But I didn't do that to my kids though. I had two. So, and then I don't know.
I'm just going to give it a little angle in case.
We might have a third. I don't know.
We got
you heard it first.
So
I'm not even sure.
Exclusive.
I told the tone mom first. I don't know what's happening, but I might have a third kid. But I talked about having a third kid. And that's pretty much because I'm scared to go get surgery. It's the truth. You want the truth? You hear it first.
You heard it here first. This is an exclusive.
Well, all right. I'm going to tell the truth. All right, here's all the truth. I want a lesson from Mark Knopfler. I want a lesson from John Frusciante. And you know what? I think I could take a lesson, but I actually want lessons from. You know who I want lessons from? I want Sadler to give me lessons. Isabel's guitar player. I watched them play like about a year and a half ago, and I know that Jason can play real well. But like he's famous enough. He doesn't need my help. You know what I mean? But he's probably doesn't have time to be giving people lessons. He's probably like he's got vintage Strats.
Yeah, he does. He just got one.
You know what I mean? Like he's like,
what we getting vintage.
But I feel like Sadler might have a free minute once in a while.
Let's
you know what I mean? Like, let's call him up.
Let's
Be
get
like,
his number. Let's
but
call
yo,
him.
no. In all seriousness, though, that kid went up there and blew my mind. And I have never. My mind doesn't get blown very easily. Like as far as like guitar players, because I'm just like, whatever. It's what we're around all the time. And I've seen people like be really great, but Sadler was something else. Like when I heard Sadler play, I was like, man, that sounds like, I know I'm watching this kid, but I don't even know if he's a kid. He looks young. He looks younger than me.
Okay.
And I was like, I know I'm watching this person, but it feels like I'm hearing Dwayne Allman. And it was really weird. Like the time that I heard, when we heard Daniel play, Ryan Bingham's old guitar player, I was like, I am watching something, but I'm hearing Dwayne Allman. Right. It was incredible. Like the tastefulness of the way they played. And I was like, I gotta get a lesson from that guy. But Daniel gave me lessons. Yeah. So he gave me a couple. So I was like, all right, yeah. Because I'm working on that now. I'm just trying to like break out of that box. I'm like, I've got all these notes in my head that I'm like, what is missing from guitar players right now? And I'm like, there's not really anybody doing that like sort of Knopfler thing, but that's like what I'm into. Like I love that. Or like that Jimi Hendrix kind of chordal lead work where it's not really like
it's not wheeze. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't. Daniel and Sadler, I don't think do deedly deeds. I haven't seen them do that.
Levels.
It's like that in between like Carl Perkins and that country thing and Jimi Hendrix. In between there is where I'm trying to.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that real like snappy kind of. Especially since I started playing with my fingers a lot. Like that Knopfler thing is just going.
Has anyone really done the Knopfler thing though, other than Knopfler?
No.
I mean, really, like that guy. I've never heard anybody even really do a good imitation, to be honest. And I could be ignorant to somebody out there that does, but
I did a lesson on Romeo and Juliet.
You did? I forgot about that. I didn't watch it though. I'm sorry.
I didn't get any feedback. Corey Brandon told me I did good though, so that means a lot because Corey Brandon's a great player. I'm just like nobody else gave me any love on that though. None of these other famous guitar players are too busy being famous. They can't call me up. You can't call me up for 5 minutes and just be like, hey, you did a good job, kid. You used to be a thumper on chords and you learned that song. Yeah? All those hours practicing, I can't get a pat on the back. One pat on the back.
So, like, come on. What's a guy got to do, right?
Yeah, right? What's a guy got to do? What do I got to set myself on fire to get some love? Guitar Player Magazine won't follow me on the internet? On Twitter? What? They don't follow me. You know who does follow me, though?
Who?
Your boys, though. In England, they follow me.
What?
Yeah. Who do we always do? Now I'm going to blank on it. It's terrible.
Guitar magazine?
Yeah. Total Guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, Total
They're
Guitar.
my boys.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Guitar Player don't follow me. Premier Guitar, they don't follow me.
Premier Guitar doesn't follow
Nah, man. And I'm like, what up, dude? I can finger pick Romeo and Juliet. Come see my thing. I can play. But nobody was letting me play for a long time. And now I'm not like I had to like I felt like a caged rat for a long time because there'd always be I'm surrounded by guitar players like in my in Gaslight there's two guitar players. I'm like, well, I can't even fit in. I gotta like and then like now that I'm like doing my own thing, I'm like I won't play. I won't push that record button. Let me show you something. I've been doing this I've been trying, man. Because I've been practicing like ridiculously for like, even my kids are laughing at me. They're like, why do you keep playing that? I'm like, because I got to get good at it. They're like, you already are good at it. I'm like, no, not good enough.
What gets you in the mode to practice? Because like I'm in the boat right now. Like I'm a thumper. Like I'm a thumper and I play with a lot of fuzz and reverb and I call it a day. And I have a hard time getting motivated to want to actually become a better player, which is...
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
What gets you, like, how do you get, how do you make it fun or more interesting?
Well, first of all, I have a weird obsession with, like, if I get focused on something, like I learned how to, last year I didn't know how to play the piano. Mm-hmm. And, like, I went from zero to, like, playing and, like, writing my own songs and playing live because I'm obsessed with practicing. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll literally, if I put the kids to bed on the way to the bathroom, I'll be grabbing a guitar or grabbing something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that kind of, like, weird person where, like, I don't, even on tour, like, I don't hang out. I don't, like, go party or anything. And I don't party. I don't like, I'm not a drinker. I don't do any drugs. So, like, I just sit and I have nothing to do. So, like, I guess, like, 2 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to practice all the time. And that's all I do. Like, sit there with a metronome. But there's a website called Justin Guitar, and that guy showed me like thousands of things. And then there's a bunch of websites that you can kind of find, and you just look up stuff you like. Like, I was like, how do I make like, I looked up pedal steel licks for guitar, and then I just kind of was like sent off on a journey, and then I would just sit there and like learn Knopfler tunes and like licks and Hendrix licks and Frusciante licks, and just be like, how are they doing that? You know, and like how even like that you know that new Isbell song, that If We Were Vampires.
Oh, I love that song so much. It makes me cry.
The finger picking. It's a great song. It's one of the best songs I've written.
It is.
I think.
I literally was. Yeah. I was driving in my car one day. First time I heard that song, I literally started crying.
Same. Me and my wife.
I was like,
we heard it on the radio. The first time we heard it, we started crying. But like,
I think I texted you. My wife's in here. She hasn't said anything, but she's in here.
I'm trying to be quiet.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of thing. It's a girl. You know, it's a girl's game too.
Okay, Jason Isbell's amazing.
Yeah. But anyway, like he had this like you know, like the guitar part in that is pretty cool. It's like kind of like a Blackbird sort of like finger picking thing. And I was like, I gotta learn that bit too. You know.
Now I gotta learn it.
It's pretty cool, and it's not. You know what? It's like, I mean, Jason, I've seen do things that I can't do at all. But that one's kind of like, that's simple enough to where you could grasp it if you tried hard enough. I mean, you're not going to pick it up the first time, but like, it's not impossible, like to play it, you know. And it's a worthy thing to learn, because it'll help you. You know, you just gotta find what you're into.
Yeah, I know what I'm into. I guess what's weird is like, I've said this on the show before. It's like I don't play the things I play by myself are not things I would listen to. They're fun to play. They're like interesting, but if I like when I've recorded them and went back and listened, and like sounds like a guy tweaking a whole bunch of knobs on his pedals, which is exactly what it is, you know. But it's fun and it's relaxing to me.
What is it too complicated, or what's the thing?
It's very, you know, it's very not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not very composed. It's like, it's kind of like just a bunch of noise rock, you know? It's just like if Sonic Youth was, like, on acid, you know, just, like, going crazy with sequencers and reverbs and, you know.
That's how it should be when you're home.
It's fun. It's certainly fun, but it's not really helping my skill on the fretboard, you know what I mean?
But do you like Dinosaur Jr.?
Oh, yeah.
Like that. I mean, figure out some of those solos from those early records, like Where You Been, and like, you know, like those are great solos.
They are,
and I mean, you can learn those pretty simply. Like there's an app actually called AnyTune Pro.
Okay.
And you can put anything that you have in your iTunes library in it, and you can slow it down to like ridiculously slow, like 30%, and you can highlight any section of the song. Any section, like however long or short, and loop it. So think about this.
Yeah, I'm loving this.
So I'm like, all these like licks that I'm trying to learn, they're like, like the Knopfler's doing. You can't even sing it, much less know what he's doing. So I highlight a little section, right? There's A and then B. I highlight the section, slow it way down, and it keeps it in pitch. And then I just loop it, and I'll sit there for an hour and just play the same lick. But it really helps you figure out what's going on. And I've learned tons of songs that way.
That's a great idea.
It's awesome. Whoever invented that's genius.
I need that, and I need that in my life. I'll be downloading that one when I get home.
It's really good. I mean, it's like $15, but it's worth it.
That's worth it.
Yeah.
That sounds. Yeah, because that's where I keep everything in iTunes anyway. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just like right on your phone. Like I can show you what it looks like. It looks like this. It's this app right here. This orange one.
AnyTune Pro.
AnyTune Pro.
There we
AnyTune
go.
Pro. You heard it here
It's
first.
that's a good plug for AnyTune Pro. You guys should sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, what are they? Hey, you follow me on the Twitter, man.
Yeah.
Nobody follows me. Nobody cool. No, there's a few cool people. I want to take that back. Like, Boy George follows me. That's cool.
On Twitter? Or
yeah, but I can't get a lot of cool followers. Margot Price don't follow me.
Margot Price doesn't follow you?
Nah.
What?
I know. I can't get the cool
sense.
follow. Trying to get the good follows. The cool people,
I follow you.
She's
No, well, see, I appreciate that.
I follow
That's
you.
I have this like weird thing of like self-worth, like looking through my Twitter like followers, go, who follows me? And then like, but if the people that I really admire don't follow me back, I'm always like, oh man, what can I do? Like
why
that sucks, man.
Why don't they know me?
I don't care whether they know me or not. I just want them to follow. Like, they don't even have to like my music. Just slap me a little follow back. Come on now.
But hey, you know what? This is where you gotta like really appreciate yourself and your social media presence, because you got a blue check.
I don't follow none of that.
You got a blue check.
Yeah,
on Instagram.
Everybody got blue checks.
I don't got a blue check.
You don't?
No,
Why not?
they don't like me.
That's not true.
Yeah, they don't.
They probably do like you.
I'm like, why can't I get a blue check out of the deal?
You gotta get a blue check.
I don't know how. They
Margot Price got a blue check.
Margot Price got a blue check. You got a blue check. Everybody got a blue check. Ian's got a blue check.
That Nico Case got multiple blue checks.
Yeah,
she's
25.
official.
I'm just looking for that blue check.
She don't follow me either. See, I can't get nobody I like to follow me. I think because I don't know, like
You gotta do more podcasts. Because then they'll hear it. They'll be like, sitting in the car, podcast.
I feel like my Twitter's not that interesting though, because generally what I do is I talk about like guitar stuff, or I'll promote. Like I'll just say like I heard this song and this song's great.
I think that's cool.
That's pretty interesting, though.
It's not really that interesting.
I don't.
It's interesting to people that like music, but not like I don't know if like celebrities need to follow me.
I don't know. I don't really like
that's
Twitter.
what you're
Though.
really trying to go for.
I'll take Instagram too. Follow me on Instagram.
I like Instagram way better.
Yeah, what up? Yeah, what up, Jack White? Follow me on Instagram.
Come on, Jack.
Come on, man. I'll be the fourth man. I got records. What's up?
Like you've done an album or two.
I done an album. I got Bruce Springsteen's phone number. Who I got to get to follow me?
Does the boss follow you?
Nah.
Well, to be fair, the boss probably doesn't technically follow anyone.
The Bruce doesn't follow anyone because he doesn't run that thing. But the good part is Bruce has me over for his house. So you know what?
That's
He has me over for dinner, so I can say that. We go for pizza sometimes.
That's a big.
Yeah, so why ain't they following me on the Twitter? Because maybe they could come. Maybe if Nico Case and Margot Price would follow me on Twitter, I would invite them over. Bring Jason Isbell. Come on. I'd be like, come over for dinner. We're going to the boss's house. See? He's a smart. Who?
Sturgill?
Oh, man. See, Sturgill would be a solid follow. That's a good follow. That's like a championship ring follow.
That's a gateway follow. You get Sturgill.
Yeah, that's true. You get Sturgill, you're going to get them all.
Sturgill's my
That's a unicorn.
That's
Sturgill Simpson.
I do too. He's
I like
amazing.
Chris Stapleton too.
What?
Yeah.
I like Chris Stapleton too.
Oh, Chris Stapleton's awesome.
I love pretty much everything. It's like that Dave Cobb web of like awesome.
It is.
I met him for 2 seconds like a couple of weeks ago, and he was like working in the studio, and I was in one of the writing rooms upstairs, and I came down and I didn't even know what to say. I was just like,
Did you say follow me on Instagram?
nah, man. I should have though. I should have been like, yo, follow your boy. And then I should have kicked something over. Follow your boy.
Yeah.
Kicked it over. And
Kicked the chair
just
over.
got real East Coast on it.
That would have worked great.
Nah, I don't think that would have worked. I don't think that they would take too kindly to that kind of style.
Maybe
It's a
not.
hard
He's
style.
a Kentucky boy. I don't know.
Is it? I don't know anything about that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Dave? No, I don't know if Dave is.
he's a good
Are we
producer.
talking-
That's
we're
what
on-
he is.
Sturgill.
Sturgill definitely is. I don't know where Dave's from.
He did that Lauren McKenna album. The new one, The Tree. It's killer. You got it. It was so good that I called my mom and I was like, Mom, buy this record right now. If you don't like it, I'll buy it back from you. And my mom called me. She was like, it made me cry. It was so good.
Oh,
I was like, it's so good. Yeah. Like, it's like that whole, I'm telling you, like he produced that, right? It's like this whole thing. Like his like,
He's got some magic fingers or brain or something.
I don't know. I haven't heard a record that I don't like recently that he's done.
There's a lot of good coming out of what they're doing right now.
It's like that whole
I just want
thing
more.
like, in there, yeah.
It's it's such a weird thing, right?
30
Like
tigers, they're all doing it. 30, I think that's all like 30 tiger stuff.
30 Tigers is a lot of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's smart label.
They're looking out for what's up. You know, it's good stuff. But then you see, you know, throwing back to Jack White, he's looking for some of that too now. He signed Joshua Headley and Margot Price is actually on Third Man.
Yeah, she's been. I think she's been on Third Man the whole time.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, Jack's smart though. Like he knows, like he's got a good ear for what's going down. I mean, like look at his music. You know, like he's kind of been able to like morph multiple times, and like I wouldn't be surprised that he picked up on her because like she. Well, like how long ago was her first record? A couple years ago.
A couple years ago, I think.
Not that long.
2 years ago.
She picked up. I mean, to my knowledge, like I like she picked up quick. It looked like to me, but that's because of this. I think when you're good, you get picked up quick. Not picked up like by label,
steam.
but yeah, you pick up steam quick because you're, you know, like really good.
Well, especially in that genre, right? Like,
well, yeah,
because I mean, my dad's been a country fan forever.
Yeah,
like, and he cannot, and along with me, he can't stand what's on the radio right now. And then I show him like, hey, here's Sturgill. You know, I mean, with the exception of a few guys. But like, here's Sturgill, here's all these, and he's like, this is fantastic. Why is this not on the radio? I'm like, well, there's this big machine. The big machine.
I mean, I think that I don't even know if Sturgill needs to be on the radio though. I think that he's he's doing so well without it that I don't know. I mean, he's got to be on the radio though, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't listen to the radio, so I don't know.
At my old job, I've talked about. I have to apologize to listeners sometimes because I repeat myself so much. But I was force-fed modern country radio all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I hated it because I like country.
Yeah.
So therefore I didn't really care for bro country. And
bro country.
Yeah.
Being from New Jersey, it's hard for me to I don't really know the ins and outs. So like if I hear something, like even the other day, I don't mean to I just sidetracked you.
No, it's good.
Go ahead, you go.
I forgot. I've lost.
I'm sorry.
No, I got force fed. Oh, yeah, this is where I was going with it. I got force fed it all day.
Job.
Yeah. After I had to quit my job because of it. It was so bad. Honestly, it really wasn't the main reason, but the fact that I don't have to listen to that anymore is really refreshing. But I never heard Sturgill. That was where I was going. I heard that station all day, not 24/7 because I did leave at some point, but all the time. And I never heard Sturgill ever. And I mean he was kind of blackballed from the CMAs. And
really?
Yeah. He actually played outside the CMAs. He busked. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. He literally had a guitar case open outside of the CMAs and was playing outside.
I heard that. I saw that actually.
It was really good.
Yeah. So I mean, tells you something about what they're thinking. I don't know. Anyway. Or not think. I don't know. But you're right. I don't think he needs it.
Well, I don't think he needs it either. I mean, and it sounds like it's funny because a lot of that stuff, like Margot and Sturgill, I go to the iTunes page of the singer-songwriters page quite often, and I found Gregory Alan Isikoff, Sturgill, Margot, a lot of those people just simply by going through. I just found Lyra Lynn through that, and I was just clicking on songs with no prior knowledge of who these people were or who they're friends with, because I live in New Jersey, I don't know these people, and they're not a lot of my friends, they I don't know if they listen to it, but a lot of my friends in town, they all like punk rock, and I'm kind of not really. I don't listen to a lot of punk rock, to be honest with you. You know, like I did when I was a kid, but I definitely don't now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be rare for me even to put on The Clash, which I know people are going to freak out if I say that. But, like, no, but, like, look, I got 2 kids. Like, I'm not putting on The Clash. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
you're talking about... And also, like, I just want to hear music that I can relate to. And I heard Sturgill doing that record for his kid, and I was like, yo, this is like a cover in Nirvana. I'm like, this is my alley. I'm like, I love this. Like, and I would never do, you know, like, I would never make a country record because I'm not country. I'm not from, you know, I'm not from that musical upbringing. But, like, I would make it, you know, an American record with acoustic guitars on it. If that means it's a country record, then okay. You know, and fiddles and, you know, pedal steels on it, then okay, fine.
Right.
But, like, you know, that it's, even though it's not like where I'm from, it's still like, I feel like it is where I'm from as a songwriter. And, like, I would say that too, talking to Bruce. Like, if you ask him, like, he's going to tell you, like, the main records in his life are mostly folk and country records. Like, there's the rock and roll and, like, the R&B and stuff like that, but, like, it's soul and country records. And that's what makes the style come. That's where you get, you know, Bruce Springsteen or you know, whatever, or anybody like that, you know?
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, of
Sure.
course that's what it is. I mean...
But to me, like, the differences are less defined because I'm coming at all this music with just, like, so, because back to what we're saying, like, modern country or radio country and, like, you know, I guess not radio country. Like, I just hear it, you know, if I hear a song that I like I heard a Kenny Chesney song the other day and I sent it to my wife and I was like, what do you think of this? She's English, you know, so she's country music very foreign to her. And I was like, what do you think of this? She's like, it's a pretty good song. I was like, it is a pretty good song, right? I'm like, is this cool? Like, am I allowed to listen to this? Is that all right?
What song was it?
It was that Get Along song. That new one. It's like, it's just I
don't think I know that one.
Just get along, buy a boat, have a beer, whatever he's talking about, like, buy a boat. But he says, like, buy a boat. And for a second I had to stop and be like, I wanted to write him a letter and be like, hey, Kenny, you know, not all of us can afford a boat. But then I realized he might be just talking about a little canoe or something like that, and I was like, oh, never mind, cool.
Whatever kind of boat you can
like,
afford.
yeah. But I like that. Like, and he says, like, call your mom. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll call my mom. Like, I'll have a beer with my friends, man. I don't even, yeah. And I don't know, I like the song. Like, what do you want? And then I heard, I, like, hear a bunch of stuff. And, like, to me, it's all, like, in the same breath, I'll hear that, and then I'll hear Lyra Lynn and be like, yeah, I don't get the difference. I just like it both. I like both of these things. You know, and, but I don't understand, like, the whole CMA world, or, like, why wouldn't you invite Sturgill? Like, he seems rad to me.
It's because, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know, because I'm so not in that world, but to me it seems like, you know, that it's kind of like Hollywood. The CMAs and stuff are very much like the industry patting itself on the back, and if you are sort of anti that, it'd be like I think they probably view Sturgill as sort of like a indie filmmaker who's kind of against the industry would be if it was Hollywood. You know what I mean? Because because Sturgill's been pretty vocal about his distaste for the big country machine.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can tell the difference between, I'm not going to name any names, but, like, there are some that I can tell the difference, and I hear, and I go, oh, this is ridiculous. You know, and it's not, it sounds very manufactured to me, and especially since, like,
never mind.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you know, when you know that there was, like, I didn't say that, you said that.
I didn't say anything. Like, I just coughed a little bit.
Like, there's a lot of, I can tell the difference.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, if that's the difference, I'm hip to it. I can tell. You know, like, I can tell that, like, Sturgill and Jason and Margot and Lyra and, like, Lori and all these people are not cut from that cloth. Right. You know, I can tell, I see where the cloth is dividing, and I'm cool with it, because, you know, I would always err on the side, to me, that is like what, growing up in punk rock, you know, it was just like, I'm not having any of this mainstream thing, because it seems fake to me.
Yeah.
And, like, I get, if that's what they're saying, then I get that, and then I can hang with that.
I think that is. I think it's a very punk ethos, sort of. I mean, not so much where we're like, we're going to be nihilists and do heroin because that's what Sid Vicious does, but like we're not into that because it doesn't feel real.
Right. Like, I don't think you need to be like, you don't need to like get drunk and shoot drugs in your face to be like punk or real or whatever. Like, and I think that's not about that. It's just about like kind of the ethical thing. Mm-hmm. And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. We're on the same page.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's what I think is funny is that it took me till I'm almost 40 years old to be like delving into like, I guess what you would call country music. It's really, we were just talking about that.
This is fascinating.
It is. Like, and I just really, really, maybe I felt like, because for a lot of years I felt like kind of I was like in no man's land. Like, I was like, I'm playing with a guitar and I'm writing songs in my room and they, start out acoustic and I'm playing, and it's just not what's popular, and I was like doing the major label thing for a long time. So I was in, an industry where it's like, well, the next release is me, and then after that is Nick Jonas. I have no way to compete with this at all, and I can't even keep up. Mm-hmm. Like, I was running a losing race, and I sort of felt like I'm like, is what I do not relevant anymore? And then I was having that for a long time, a couple of years ago, and then especially like after the band stopped and I was on my own, and I was like, am I not relevant anymore? And then I found like all this music and was sort of like, oh wow. Because, like, like, I guess, like, people like, Ryan Adams has always been around. But Ryan's, like, already established. He's already huge. He's already, like, he's going in the book of, like, these are the great American songwriters. There's Bob Dylan, and there's this, and there's Bruce Springsteen, and there's all these people, and then there's Ryan Adams. Mm-hmm. And he's already in there. So, like, I already knew that, and I wasn't gonna... I felt like he was more of an anomaly, like, where there was... Because especially when he came out, there was just, like, all these, like... sort of grunge after effect bands.
Yeah.
And he kind of cut through all that, but that was like, that's one in a million. And I was like not gambling that was going to happen to me. So I was kind of looking at these other people, and then I started seeing like, like Jason's record got really good and really well known, and I was like, oh, there's hope for this kind of thing. And then I started like kind of looking. Well, there has to be more. Like, who are all these people? Like, where are the storytellers going? And then I found it in what you would say is country music. I would call it like Americana or whatever, but I don't know if that's like the right word.
That's what's being thrown on it these days. I don't mean that as a bad thing, and I've complained about this. So, like, I grew up listening to country, and then found punk rock later, as a teenager. So country and things like that have always been very close to me and very important. And so I started getting really upset with what was kind of being labeled as country.
Yeah.
And I've always been like, why do we have... I mean, Americana is not a bad label, but to me I'm like, when did country stop being country, and when did what I considered to be country music become Americana? Like, I didn't understand where that shift happened. And how, if that makes any sense? Like,
yeah.
Like, to me, like, all the artists we've been talking about would fit right in with, Waylon or Willie or any of those guys.
I think that, yeah, like, I would have a hard time. Like, I think if I was doing a record that was sort of like that, I would call what I did Americana, because it's not country. It's just because I'm not, I don't know, like, I don't have that thing. Like, I wasn't raised on, like, Willie and Waylon and like, Hank. I wasn't raised on that. Mm-hmm. Like, I found My I Love It as a kid by accident, and like I like that, and like I do like Willie Nelson, but like I'm also not going to pretend that like I'm something I'm not. So like that's kind of where I think that there is genres are dumb in the
right.
It's like, do you like it or do you not? But like if I had to call, like, if I said that, okay, well, this fits into the title of country music, and what I would do, I would call Americana, but I would not call what they do Americana, because it sounds like it just means American music. Like, if this is like meaning like American roots music.
Yeah.
Like, hey, does this fit in with the Newport Folk Festival? That's Americana. That, to me, but that includes like Odetta and like, the Alabama Shakes and
right.
Which might be considered an R&B band. In my mind, that they're an R&B band to me, like
Shakes.
An R&B blues band. That's just for me, because to me they sound like it sounds like the Aretha Franklin records, or like, that's what I hear when I hear it, which is cool. But I don't know that I want to chop everything up, because I would love to be like, there's country music, and like when I went on tour with Ryan Bingham, his music is considered, quote, I guess country music, I guess. But like, I don't really see the difference between me and Ryan doesn't see the difference between me and Ryan, because like we're cut from the same cloth. Like, yeah, he might have been grown up like, riding in a rodeo and literally riding bulls, and I grew up just working construction, but like we are from the same cloth for sure. Like, we related and fast friends, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, the coloring is different on, or whatever. Maybe I wear a different shirt than he does, or he wears a cowboy hat and I don't. But like, that doesn't make us different at all, and I think that kind of thing, I don't know, that's the thing. And I would love to, I would love to see a period of time where, someone like, where I was opening up for someone like Margot Price or something like that, you know what I mean? Or like, where those worlds became less defined by outside journalists.
Yeah, and I think
they would like that too.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Well, I ain't doing nothing. Call me up. Follow me on Twitter, man.
You and Lucero.
Let me open up. But Lucero's a lot closer to me. Like, they're a lot closer to me. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, because like, like,
I love that music
like
so
Ben
much.
and I, we both grew up on Jawbreaker and like, stuff like that. Like, I get it. Ben's from Memphis and I'm from New Jersey, but like, Ben and I are even closer, I think, in what we grew up on, like, musically, Like, he doesn't, because Ben didn't, I don't know, like, they fit so well into what we did, but for some reason, like, I don't know that they're not in that group of, are they?
Not,
I'm not sure.
Do
they tour with those bands?
I don't think they tour with them. No, I mean, they're usually headlining their own stuff.
Sure.
But
everybody.
I do, and I mean,
should go on
at
tour
least
there,
in my
yeah.
perception, and this is, limited to just myself, but like, I mean, they're one of my favorite bands, and so they kind of slide that way, and I don't know if that's just because they're Southern and sound Southern, therefore sounding more country to me. I wouldn't consider them country, but I guess it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Not
we were
really.
just talking today that, like, for 40 or 50 years, Mick Jagger has been aping a country accent, and he's from Kent, England. And yet,
this is nothing to
no one has ever called him out on it.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
He is 100% like in it, and he's just like, that's the way I sing. So I mean, like, that's awesome. I mean, I love that.
But we love it. It's not like we're like,
No, because his Rolling
Love
Stones
it,
are
yeah.
awesome, and he sings great. And like,
Yeah.
Sweet Virginia is so cool.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good point. I never really thought about that before. But I don't know how we got from guitar pedals to that, but I like it.
It's just, I don't know.
Because
I like it.
Yeah.
This is good. This is very good.
Well, I like guitar pedals too.
Well, we've been doing this for a little while now. It is almost been an hour, which I mean,
Sure.
I feel like I could literally do this all night. So
Yeah,
I don't.
it's okay.
I,
If you want to, like, I'm trying to think, like, what else can we do? If I say too much about pedals, I mean, somebody's gonna send me a hate mail.
what do you mean?
Because I always have, like, the weirdest opinions on, like, pedals because I've been through all of them and I bought them all. And then,
All
like,
of them?
Well,
All of
pretty
them.
much most of them, man. Yeah, like, so all the, like, flashy words that they use, like, I would be like samurai sword in people's, like, thing, because some of this stuff I think is total jive, like what they're doing with like being like, this is like the ultimate, like, tone sculpting, warm, soft, germanium grit, warm, cleans up with your volume knob. No,
Does
it
it clean
doesn't.
up? Does it clean up with your volume knob?
No, it doesn't.
You've got to be kidding me! It's cleaning up with your volume knob. Don't they all clean up with your volume knob? Kinda.
Do you need this $100,000 head, or do you need this $200 pedal?
Oh, are you talking about? yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, not specific. Maybe it is specific.
That's a very specific Facebook ad that you're referring to right now.
I don't know.
No, it's a weird world for sure because there's so many companies like scrambling for, trying to make their business work, right? And so when you make another overdrive pedal, it's really hard to describe, even if it is different. It's touch sensitive. Well, yeah, they're all touch sensitive to some degree, but it's really hard to come up with something for a dirt box these days, just because there's so many good ones.
You just go, what color is it? It's blue. We'll take it.
It's blue. Is that based on an MXR blue box?
I just threw blue in there because orange is my color, but I just didn't want to say orange.
You didn't want to say orange? You don't want people to know?
I don't want people to know about my weirdness.
It's not weird.
Blue, orange. I like sparkles. You gave me the sparkles.
I did.
That was nice.
You guys got the sparkly ones.
Yeah.
I love that. I think my final word on pedal, like which pedal you want, is still going to be like, if you spent half the time that you did looking on the internet, not you, but like anyone, looking on the internet at new pedals and listening to demos, if you spent half that time practicing, you would find that if you just threw a dart at, like, say there's like all these overdrives, and you just threw a dart at one of them, chances are they're all pretty good and all pretty similar, and that if you could play really well, you'd be fine with any of them. And like, one is not better than the other.
I feel like I'm being called out right now.
No, I'm not calling you out.
You don't give yourself enough credit. If you did it, you practiced that way, you could do it.
Well, he's right. If I spent half the time practicing that I do looking at fuzz boxes,
I'm not trying to say that there's not like things that are different. Like, yes, like a tube screamer is different than a Klon or whatever, but I'll tell you what, like I've had the $2,000 Klon, and it's not worth $2,000. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of pedals out there that I can get a similar thing from. Matter of fact, there's a lot of amps that I can get a similar thing from without the Klon. Mm-hmm. That, like, I don't think that's a reasonable price. And I honestly think that the maker, like Bill, who made the pedal, he probably agrees with me that that's absurd.
That's why he made the KTR.
Yeah, like, and that thing sounds great.
It does. Yeah. I played an original too, and I was like, not a chance. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, this is cool to get to do, but not a chance.
But the whole like gold horsey, short tail, long tail, like silver, like I've had all of them. I lined them all up one time, and they just like, it just wasn't a big enough deal. I was like, this is ridiculous, I don't know.
I know some guys that got them new. Yeah. From Bill when he was still making them, and they're like, it's great. I'm never gonna sell it. And I'm like, of course not. Right. You paid $200 for it, which is what it's worth. Or $225 or whatever it was new.
But that's true. It is great. But is it gonna make you, like, if you bought the Archer and practiced a lot, am I gonna be able to tell the difference when you make your record? Not at all.
No.
And especially you gotta think, like, when you're sitting at home, does the one Univibe sound different than the other Univibe? Sure it does. But, like, when you're playing on a stage with a band, like, dude, you can't hear that.
Yeah.
And when you're in a recording studio, you cannot hear that. Like, it's great. It's great, but, like, you can't hear it.
How much of it, though, is worth it just for the way you feel when you're playing it, though? Because there is that factor that comes in for some people.
Well, I would not tell anybody what to do. One thing I will say, though, is if I'm stuck in a rut, there's been times where I've been like, you know what, I'm going to pick up that new guitar, I'm going to pick up that new pedal, and I'll tell you what, it's gotten me to the next step. So sometimes it's worth it just to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, the inspiration of, like, having a new thing and playing it will lead you somewhere that'll sort of get you on your journey a little bit when you're stuck. So right. I'll give that. But
I think there's that thing as well of, if I just had that, I know I've said it many times, if I just had this guitar, I'll be able to do this. Or if I just had this amp,
that's not true.
Yeah, that's the realization.
That's not real.
Like, you don't need anything. You just need whatever amp you have, whatever guitar you have, whatever pedals. Just learn what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and learn what they do. That's one thing too. Is like, not enough people spend, like, they like plug it in and they go, that doesn't sound like the demo. Like, well, you're not the person playing on the demo, and you have to twiddle with the knobs. That's what I was saying before about the AC30.
Mm-hmm.
You got to spend time with that amp. It's not going to give you the goods without, like, you got to work for it, you know? It's like a relationship. You know? All these pedals and stuff are like, you got to have a relationship with these pedals. I have a relationship with my full drive, you know what I mean? Like, I love my full drive. Like, I love my Univibe, you know? That Echoplex was a jerk. It broke down a lot of times in the studio, but I love that thing.
It's
You
so
know?
much fun though for the minute that works.
I will tell you though that the Echoplexes are 100,000% better than any pedal that you say that sounds like an Echoplex. It does not sound like
The
that.
Echoplex is good. I need to get an Echoplex. I have a Univox EC80.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
No.
They're a little cassette-based tape thing
yeah.
from like
Yeah, I know what you're talking
the
about.
80s.
Mhm.
And I got it because it was pretty cheap. And I was like, cool, a tiny tape delay. And I'm like, oh man, if a real Echoplex sound half as good as this does. Because that thing was like
Winner.
$200 or something.
We gotta come over to your. When are we come to your spot?
You can come to the Shred Shed?
Yeah, we wanna
Shred
come.
Shed.
We wanna come over and
Please
see
do.
what you got.
Too much.
You guys can come to the Shred Shed whenever you're in Portland.
Yeah,
Please do. I mean,
we might come and stay in the Shred Shed.
you can stay in it. It's got air conditioning
But
and heat, depending on what time the year you
we
show
might
up.
be there for a few seasons. I don't know.
It's kind of small. It's
Is
looks.
the air mattress still in there?
The air mattress is still out there.
Okay, there you go.
When I was working night shift, I would sleep out there because it's double walled and everything,
Yeah.
No
and
windows.
and there's no windows, so I could go out there and like family could run around in the house. I'd sleep out there during the day.
Wow.
And then go to night shift. It was like it worked because it was nighttime. I closed the doors. It's nighttime,
That's awesome.
and I'd sleep out there.
I like that.
The
But-
right time.
It was a
The
good
nighttime
time.
is the right time. I heard.
For following me on Twitter, so what's up?
Follow. Would you guys just follow? It's
No, don't follow. I don't want a pity follow.
But what if Margot's listening?
No, only if her and her husband sit down and
Talk
they like
about
the
it.
music, and then they can
Has to
follow.
be a
It
discussion.
has to be a real follow. I don't want a fake follow. Don't follow me if you don't like it. Just leave me alone. Maybe throw me a pity opening slot one time.
There you go.
That's it. I'll take that.
That'll work, right?
Yeah, I'll take a pity slot on
Yeah.
a tour. Yeah.
Peace.
A pity slot, but no pity follow. We'll take a pity
Don't
slot.
pity follow though. None of that. You got to be because you got to engage with with the social media. You know what I'm saying? Got to engage.
Make media social again.
Yeah,
right?
make media social. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no! There we go. Get the hats made.
Make media social, bro. Put me on your tours. I'll be nice. I'll play the nice songs.
Mhm.
I won't stink up your bus.
Nope.
Nope. I'll stay out of the way. Throw me a bunk. Be cool.
It sounds like a good time.
I got kids to feed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna sound ridiculous to these people. They're not even listening. To
They
this stuff.
listen to me every week.
Really?
This is not as ridiculous. This is not even kind of ridiculous.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
What do you normally? What's your normal like go-to thing for ridiculous then?
go-to thing for
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I just recorded an episode with another podcaster. His name's Ryan, and he has a guitar podcast called 60 Cycle Hum.
Mhm.
And we didn't talk about gear at all
Really?
the whole time. We just talked about nonsense.
That's cool.
Like, I don't even know if we really talked about music. We talked about random things
That's awesome.
for like an hour, and then that was like, well, episode's over. No guitar stuff on this episode.
That's cool.
So here you go.
To change it up.
Yeah.
It happens a lot, actually. You'd be surprised because I talked to a lot of company owners and stuff, and I don't know if this is this way for everybody, but when you work in the industry, sometimes you don't want to talk about guitars.
Sure.
Like, I've talked about guitars all day long. I want to talk about watermelons because I'm really into that right now.
That's awesome.
Whatever the case may be, and I'm down. Like, the tagline is like the show about guitar tone and the people behind it, and it's mainly about the people behind it. If we're being
I love that.
totally honest, so which is a good segue into maybe we can wrap this up. Although I don't really want to, but
Well, we got to do another one on what I think about pickups.
we can do that.
That one will blow you.
You didn't even talk about pickups.
We didn't talk about pickups. We were too busy talking about Americana versus country labels and stuff.
Now, pickups I have something to say about.
You got something to say about? Well, let's just say it. Go ahead and
You're
say
talking to the pickup man.
Let's talk about pickups.
Well, right next to my bookshelf full of pedals is my bookshelf full of pickups. And I'll tell you that there is something to be said about pickups.
Oh, okay.
That some pickups are no good, and all pickups are not created equal. I'll be telling you that.
So let's just get this out of the way first, since we're going pickups already. I was going to segue into the closing thing, but it's too late now.
I will close it very quickly with this.
Okay.
I'll tell you that there are good pickups and there are bad pickups, and they make a huge difference. And if you have a guitar that you're like, this guitar doesn't quite sound right, change the pickups.
Change the pickups.
Yes. That will do a very big thing. And if you have a set of pickups that you're like, I love these, and they're kind of right, but they're not quite right, swap the magnets. Big thing. Big, huge thing. That's a different thing. But I don't know how to say it, but I think it's Sigil? It's S-I-G-I-L. It's from Canada. Makes killer pickups. Bare knuckle, killer pickups.
Yeah.
Killer. That's what's in my Strat right now.
Bare knuckles.
In my Les Paul is the Sigil. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. There's no pronunciation key next to it.
I know that you get those things. I found out I was saying a lot of things wrong because I only read them.
Same. Well, it's S-I-G-I-L.
And Sigil.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'd go with.
Yeah, and he's awesome. He's great to deal with, and his pickups are amazing. And they're in my Les Paul, and then in my Strat are bare knuckles. And they're so good. They're all so good. There's a lot of people. There's like that OX4 makes good pickups. Lawler makes great pickups. I mean, you can't deny that. But that's what I think. Pickups are a big deal. There's a lot of pickup companies that are terrible. I'll tell you that. Awful, shameful
pickups.
Bright, nasty, shrill beasts. Should be tucked away in the basement, never to be seen again.
Never spoken of.
Oh my goodness! And I'll tell you, there's a certain pickup that's made for $550. It's a total waste of money.
Oh,
it's on Jersey.
And it's on every forum, and they're always like, "These guitar pickups changed my life." Well, I'll tell you what, I put them in, and they couldn't change my underwear. I was ready to. Matter of fact,
I'm just curious. Did these ones happen to be run on certain machines that were very important
to
a certain historic guitar brand?
I'll tell you what was historic is the fact that I took the magnets out and threw the rest of it away in the trash because I was like, "This is absurd. The pricing is absurd." And like, I'm not saying nothing about who it was. That's all I'm saying about that.
That's all you're going to say about that? Since we're talking about pickups, I'm head over heels in love with vintage wide range humbuckers right now.
Like what?
The old like in the Fender Tele Customs and Tele Deluxes and the thin lines. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but that to me is like that's blasphemy.
What? Come on!
You don't put a humbucker in a Fender.
What?
It's too weird.
Not even in the neck?
No way.
What?
It's gross.
These are special.
They're not special.
They are. I'm in love with them. They're not your normal humbucker, Brian. They're not. There's something. They're like in between.
I'm not in.
You got to get in. They would be perfect for you. You get the wide ranger in the neck, and then you got a standard telly in the bridge. You play in the middle position. It'll change your life.
This is absurd.
It's not absurd. I'm telling you.
No, there's no
wouldn't lead you astray. I wouldn't lead you astray.
No.
Fender did it themselves.
They made a mistake then. They were out to lunch that day.
They had Seth Lover come in and he said, "Look, I got you a pickup."
Seth Lover, new phone, who this? I heard his pickups, his PAFs. I heard them that he was making. That's Seth Lover. You know who makes good pickups though, speaking of Seth Lover? Those Seymour Duncan Antiquities are great pickups. Great pickups.
They are pretty good.
I just got sent some beautiful pickups from the custom shop. Where was that?
Seymour Duncan makes great pickups.
Yeah.
You know what makes good pickups too? A lot of people talk trash about that. If you get the right guitar, those custom buckers are great. And the standard custom shop Fender pickups are great.
Yeah,
they are
great pickups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they still don't touch the bare knuckles and the sigil.
Shout out to
I feel bad.
I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up one of my buddies in the business, since we're talking pickups. Righteous Sound Pickups. He's a very small guy out of Washington.
I never heard of this.
He's very, 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 very small, but making great stuff. I got to play through almost all of them, and his 2121 humbuckers are very good.
Really?
Yeah, very, very good. I like his stuff a lot, and I like him. He's the only one who made me cry on my own podcast, though. So I don't
Really?
know. I don't know about that.
What, he was like, wide range pickups suck. And you were like, no.
No!
I didn't say they suck. I just said not for me.
They don't belong.
No, I'm saying, how
Sounds
did it
like
make
you
you cry?
I mean, I'm a.
Jack White's gonna call me up, be like, "All I use is wide range pickups." I'm like, "Oh man, you're off the tour. Come on, unfollow."
You see those single coils in my airline? Not single coils. They're wide range humbuckers.
Mark Knopfler don't use no wide range humbucker.
Wide range stacked.
You got
But then again, you know what? We're talking about all this stuff, and you know what John Frusciante uses? Boss pedals. Sounds awesome.
Prince, he's boss.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I love Boss pedals.
Yeah.
I like boss pedals too. I don't use any of them, but
You gotta use a metal zone for the tones.
no.
No. Now you're gonna make us cry.
Come on, man. That's not right.
But actually, it's kind of funny because I think he's done it. I'm talking about podcasts a lot because we're doing one right now. But I do another podcast with Wampler pedals. Brian
Oh
Wampler.
yeah, he does cool like videos.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, I talk to him all the time, and I do a podcast with him pretty regularly. I think he did a video where he modded a bunch of metal zones.
Really?
So like one's like an EQ, one's like a boost, and like he just changed all this stuff on all these.
He's
So he had a
cool.
pedal board full of metal zones.
I like his little instructional videos that he does.
Mhm.
Like they're so cool. I watch those just for goofs, like to be like just to get some knowledge off of them. It's really
Mhm.
cool.
He's a good guy. I like him.
Where's he from?
He's from. Hold on. Why can't I think? We talk about it all the time.
You just edit this bit out. So you just
No,
like,
he's from
Bing.
blah blah Indiana, blah blah Indianapolis, blah 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 outside of Indianapolis. I can't remember. It's got a lot of goats though.
Just
He
overdone it.
talks about it a lot.
Iowa.
You gotta
No.
get that goat tone, bro.
Yeah, it's goat tone. Just talking about goat yoga. One time we were podcasting. You heard of goat
I
yoga?
don't know what that is.
What?
I'm not
Like
I'm not
literally
messing with
doing yoga with. Oh, you did it one time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
Pigs.
goats.
yeah.
Pigs and goats.
You're doing yoga with
Yeah.
pigs and goats running around. I don't know what the advantage of that is,
You
but
lost me at yoga.
it's a thing.
With pigs.
Yep.
Nah, I'm out.
Not
Not
all
with
the
pigs.
Wide range pickups. Pig yoga.
We got weird stuff in Portland. It's just
Pig yoga. I'm out.
it's goat yoga. You gotta do
Goat
the goat
yoga.
yoga. Let it
It
tippy
was-
toe up and down your
farm-
spine.
Farm yoga.
I don't remember what it's called. I
Yoga
can't
in the
believe I
pasture.
can't remember where Brian lives. He's going to be mad at me when he listens to this. He's like, I talk about it every podcast how I live in Redneckville, USA, but I can't remember what it is. Martinsville.
Where's
Martinsville, Indiana. That's where he lives.
Seems
it's
alright.
There we go.
Indiana.
It only took 20 minutes for me to remember that, but
I think
here
I've
we
never
are.
Been there.
Well,
All right. Well, I think I've offended everyone, so
yeah,
it's time to go.
not
time to go
yet.
to bed.
Not yet. There's a very, very important question. This is the last
Yeah.
question, and it's a question that I asked all the guests, and I'm going to ask both of you
Okay.
independently.
Independently.
And I'm glad you're sitting down.
All right.
Because this is a hard hitter and it's very controversial. What kind of pizza do you like?
Hit it.
This is funny that you should ask this.
This is
We like
very-
pepperoni pizza.
pepperoni pizza, both of us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we are pepperoni lovers.
I love it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny that you should just ask that particular question because of all the questions in the world, we are well equipped for the answer. It's not even-
You didn't even have to
yeah,
hesitate.
I don't even need to look at him. We like pepperoni pizza.
Thin crust, thick crust, preferred pizzerias.
I mean, I love Vic's in
Oh.
in
Shout
Bradley
out.
Beach, New Jersey. Vic's Pizza, it is so good. It's thin crust, but it's like it's to kill for. Like it's so good.
We're booking.
When next time you come to New Jersey, just call us, shoot us a text message, and let us know. Ian likes to keep everybody that he knows away from me because he's afraid I might get a follow on Twitter.
I'm like, oh, bro.
Does Margaret Price follow you?
Let me check. Let me see.
no,
Margot
this
Price, she probably does. She probably does follow him.
You know what?
I bet she does.
At Margot
Just
Price.
slide to him.
Quick, follow me.
Quick, follow me. Do it.
Wait, why am I picking on Margot? I'm not picking on her, but why am I
You know who doesn't follow me?
Who?
Watford Football Club. My team.
Oh.
I
The top-
tweet about them
House-
every
yes,
single day.
I named a song after the captain of the team,
That's
and they
what I'm
don't
saying.
follow me.
We can't get one. I don't even get a like. I'm not even a follow. Just one little like. Ian, I see you. Bing.
Bing. No. No good. Well,
Who do you want to get followed by? What's your favorite pizza?
my favorite pizza?
Yeah, pepperoni. Come on.
So, my favorite pizza, my go-to, it's a little place in
Nah,
my
you can't.
hometown.
Just one pizza.
One pizza?
No go-to. Just what's the pizza? You're going down. You're on a Titanic. One pizza's getting delivered. What is it?
It's gonna be the multicarne pizza. Swap out the tomatoes for pepperoncinis, and add smoked turkey from my local pizzeria, Mi Familia. It's a little Italian-style wood oven pizza.
What?
It's very, very, very good. That would be, if I'm going down on the Titanic and that's available, slide it my way, please.
You already sank. We're just making that order. See, we would have gone pepperoni now
Way less
It'd
complicated.
be too late.
and 2 Cokes. Thanks. Boom.
Boom, gone. And I'm like, blow.
Yeah.
But it's too late. I didn't
You're
get
like, wait, did I tell you to? Gone.
Can I have the stuffed mushroom? Oh,
I thought you were gonna go. What's the best pedal of all time? I honestly, I was like, oh, he's gonna ask.
no.
What's the best pedal of all time?
No, I mean, if there's one thing that's more important than guitar tone is probably pizza.
I'm gonna
right.
hit Vic's. We're gonna be in Asbury Park soon. I'm
Baby.
gonna send you a picture of this pizza, and you are just gonna
I'm gonna freak out.
It's just the best pizza.
When this airs, text me. I'm gonna see how many follows I get.
Yeah.
From either
I've got
pizzerias or
6,000 less followers.
Sturgill Simpson blocked me.
Yeah.
Oh, so weird.
Celebrity block. That
I
would
can't
be
find
Oh.
Mention my name.
No, with the celebrity block, God forbid.
Celebrity
Oh, don't.
block.
That'd be even worse than the not follow.
Dude, that's
it would
way
be the
worse.
block.
Way worse.
Like, I can't find Margot Price on any of the social medias. Like, she deleted her account or something.
Wait, I don't want to get Margot Price's husband upset with me here. I'm not that's just
Yeah.
one of the names. Like, it's okay if she doesn't follow me. It's fine. There's lots of other people that it's okay with. You know what I mean? Like, I respect you. I respect your holy union. I got my own wife. I'm good. You know what I mean? I just like your music. I'm fine. I don't want to get the wrong message going out here.
No.
You know what I'm
Someone's
saying?
at the door to see you right now. I don't know who it is. This is going to get ugly.
It's Margot Price's husband. Jump out the window.
Yeah, he's got a crowbar. I don't know what the deal is.
He looks like he probably handle himself too.
Mm-hmm.
I seen him.
This is going to get
He's in the
rough.
band.
I don't want to record this. This is going to get ugly.
Maybe you want to cut that part out.
Yeah, we'll cut that part out. No, that's staying in there.
I don't mind.
I don't think so.
Come and find me. I'll be opening up for you at a city near you.
Please.
And there won't be any wide range humbuckers involved either.
But it will be pepperoni pizza from Vic's, Bradley Beach. Please give us free pizza.
There you go. I love it. Well, thank you guys for coming on. It's kind of getting late, and I know you guys probably want to do something else other than sit around.
I'm just going to bed. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, everybody. For Brian and Ian and Lynn, because she's here too, my wife.
Hello! Not just boys fun.
Yeah.
See?
I'm never a part of this.
I know.
Really?
What?
No.
It's the first time.
What do you want to say?
to
What's your favorite pizza? Come on.
Probably his-
freedom.
No, don't say that.
What's
He's
your
out.
favorite pizza?
You're home by yourself.
You
He's
mix it,
out.
though.
A really good, just like fresh mozzarella, thin crust.
All right.
Like Joe's.
Yeah. Extra sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Basil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What beverage?
Water.
By the way, your hair looks lovely.
Thank you. The humidity is not good.
It doesn't look like it.
Just go wear a hat all the time. That's what I do.
Yeah. That's what I
Same.
did the other day.
Mhm. Or cut it off.
I was thinking about shaving it off, but you know what? I got a hat on, so I don't even know. I wouldn't even see it.
All right, folks. As always, good luck and good tones. Bye, guys. Well, there you have it. That's it. I am still kind of like
freaking out that happened, but it did happen, and I was very pleased with how it turned out. I don't think I even fangirled too hard. I don't think so. But I don't know. You guys be the judge. Let me know. Hit me up in the group. Hit me up at info@tonemob.com. All the normal places. And if you need more, if you need a little bit more of this, don't forget about the Patreon. We got patreon.com/tonemob for, several different levels. But at the $5 level is where you start getting extra episodes. You get extra episodes every week. Sometimes they're with Jess. Sometimes they're extended cuts with the guest. Sometimes they're, I don't know. We're going to experiment with it and see what people like and what they're enjoying. So there's already, I think, 5 or 6 episodes up there right now, and the one corresponding with this one will be a little reverb shootout. So yeah, check it out if that's something that interests you. Patreon.com/tonemob. And as always, folks, thank you for listening, tuning in. Without you guys, there would be no point in me standing in front of this microphone at all. So thank you very much. And if you could do me one more favor. I mean, the sharing on the Facebooks and sharing the episodes with people definitely helps. But sometimes it just means so much more if you just, you're in a conversation with one of your gear buddies and you say, hey, I got this podcast I've been listening to. You might want to check it out. If you could just tell one person, physically tell one person this week, that would be absolutely brilliant. And, it would help keep this thing going. That's what we need. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next week. One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.